Ooh, big head on the beat.
Okay, hoes wanna fuck me for the clout tee, but they never can and they pouty. Smoking on big gas got me drowsy, but no longer sleeping in the county. 55 M's in my bank, that's goals. Hating on the cover on the kid, get exposed. Black and white.
Awesome. What up, Team No Job and all the no jobbers out here? I'm super excited for this guest. Naeem is out here in the building. Thank you so much, bro, for coming down here finally. You know, I know you've been so busy up in Hollywood, and I'm just really super excited that you actually did come down here. Check out, Team No Job HQ, and then obviously, we'll dive into your story about how you became, just someone from Orlando, Florida, and now, on the forefront and the frontier of the cryptocurrency space, and being one of the biggest, influences in the world in the cryptocurrency, space. It must be a pretty, exciting, time for you. So. Digging into your story, bro, tell them where you're from, what exactly you do and what you're really passionate about.
Yeah, absolutely. So for me, my parents, they came from a third world country. I guess now you would call it a developing country, because it's almost inappropriate to say third world country. But we were there today at Skid Row, so I was like a third world country. But they came from a place like that, and so they sacrificed a lot, and when they were, in the United States, they really tried hard to rebuild things, and, they were a lot older. And so for me, just at 12 years old, I was always motivated to make money because my father was $80,000 in debt. And so, we were never going out and, eating at nice restaurants. We were never, shopping or doing, what all the other kids were doing. And so it was always, hard for us. And I had family members that had money, and so I'd seen the good side of things. My aunt, she lived in this neighborhood called Islesworth, and it's the nicest neighborhood in all of Florida. And it's where Tiger Woods, Shaquille O'Neal, all of them have mansions in the States there. And so I grew up with her a lot of my life because I was just so addicted to that lifestyle. And when she moved to Dubai, and she got a house in the Palms Jumeirah, I was left with just what I already had, and I was young, and my parents were always struggling to get money, and so super early in my life, I just knew that I needed to figure a way to be successful fast because my parents were old, and I didn't want that debt to go on my mom if my father passed away. So that's the type of motivation that was behind me throughout my whole childhood. And so,
when did it first hit you when you're damn, I need to just
I was
be
12.
a man, wake up,
yeah,
make
I was
money.
12. I was 12, so I was on YouTube making YouTube videos for Machinima. I was doing a ton of gaming videos, and then from there I just realized I needed to turn this into a business and make some money somehow. And so, that's when I started accepting Bitcoin and I got into cryptocurrency. I wouldn't say I got into cryptocurrency. I was just using it.
Yeah.
I was accepting it and I was liquidating it immediately because I was this is a middleman. I don't like using
Wait,
this.
what year was this?
This was around 2010.
Okay.
And so there were barely even any ways to, there were there weren't even wallets. It was insane. And then, 2012 and 2013, I really started to accept it and sometimes just kind of keep it in Bitcoin. I started realizing that, okay, this thing is actually going up in value and this is interesting. But I was so young and so uneducated.
How old are you at this point?
I was probably 13 or 14, probably 15 maybe. I'd say I was 13 when I first was exposed to Bitcoin, and I was at 15 I knew that I could start making money on just trading the value of it. And so I realized it was going up and down, and so I was just let me just buy it when it's at a certain price and then sell it later when it's lower, and so that's how my trading experience kind of began. And then from there I realized, okay, this is an actual thing that people do. It's called Forex, or it's called stock trading. And so I started getting to E-Trade and actually trying to make this something that I could, create a skill off of and create income off of. It took me about 3 to 4 years. 2014 was when I would say I'd become profitable. And then by 2017, I was working a corporate job, working full-time, going to school full-time, and I was also building a company for at the point. I built it for 3 years, and it was like a company just pretty much going out and consulting with other businesses and teaching them how to create subscription-based revenue and residual cash flow. And it was a network marketing company, actually. And so like
what company was it? I didn't know
it was Amway.
Oh shit. Biggest
Yeah.
network marketing company in the world.
Yeah, the biggest in the world. And I had a team, and it was an amazing experience, amazing mentors. That's where I found my first mentor. Started reading books, stuff like that. And so like that was kind of my journey there. And so, you know, being exposed to YouTube at an early age, being exposed to mentorship, and then also being a trader, trading Bitcoin, all of that combined, in 2017, I decided to just start live streaming all of my trades. And so if you go to my YouTube channel, you can actually go on my YouTube channel right now, just like go through all of the videos and see every single night I went online for three or 4 hours. I would go live on YouTube for 2 hours and then take people into like another private Discord where they would actually connect their microphones and we'd get onto calls. And so I was doing that every night. And so I was up from like 12 a.m. to 5 a.m. I quit my full-time job at that point because I was already making so much money trading. And, you know, I remember just walking into my job and the guy that was behind me was like, dude, so why are you here if you're making more money just like on the computer and doing these sales calls? I'm like, damn, like, you know, it's just those like small things I think that the universe brings you that sometimes you have to pay attention to and just move with the universe, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, I think that that's just been what I've done since then, you know? I've just kind of,
What was like at that point, like when you were getting into like trading, when did it hit you like, oh fuck, it's just not just Bitcoin, there's like 1,000 other coins as well, and these coins are, you know, super volatile and not a lot of people know about them, and just kind of like, when did you really become like a crypto junkie?
I would say that was pretty late. I would say 2016 was, because there just weren't altcoins in 2014 or 15, and in 2016 like there was a little bit of like Ethereum was out, but you know, Litecoin was always pretty much there.
That was like the first coin I bought was a
Yeah.
Litecoin. When I bought a Litecoin at $17, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh shit, I'm in it.
Yeah.
So I know exactly.
It was just like an interesting time. Like, not if you know if I were to really just like think about and going back to like that time frame, like I think it was really 2016 and 17 that people really started realizing like there's something going on here. You know,
Yeah.
like it's just like things started to bubble up.
Yeah, that's
You know?
why I first invested.
It was really when Ethereum like it wasn't just Ethereum. It was just the fact that when ICO started to raise funds. That was when things started to really like ramp up, you know? It was just like that whole year of ICO funding that I think drove the whole hype. You know?
Definitely. What was like some of your favorite coins like back then, like that you made like your best trades on?
I would say it was always Bitcoin and Litecoin and Ethereum.
Okay, yeah, so just the big three?
Yeah, not as much Litecoin anymore. Right now, definitely Bitcoin and Ethereum.
Yeah.
And it's like when you've been in for so long, you just know what it's gonna do in a way. It's weird.
Yeah.
You know, like I make videos every single week on my YouTube channel, and I've called out the majority of the movements. You know, like I knew that we were at the end point of the market because there was just so many like fundamental points that showed that we were, you know?
Yeah.
So like one of the points that people don't typically look at is like the daily transaction volume of Bitcoin. But if you look at the daily transaction volumes right now, it's at the same highs that they were at when Bitcoin was at $20,000. You know what I'm saying? So it's
so what
like,
do you think? Why do you think it's? You know,
I think
that
Bitcoin will
could
be at
200 right now,
$100,000.
right?
I think it'll be at $100,000 soon. You know, it's a digital version of gold, and it's a better storage of value than gold because you can't send gold overseas.
That's very
Gold
true.
is very inefficient. It's immobile. It's like this is like the new internet for storage of value. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's insane.
No, I completely understand what you're saying. That's why I first invested.
And it's
into the
5x,
space.
it's 5 times already.
Yeah.
Like, why would it do it 6 times? The universe is all about 6s and 1s and 11s and 3s, right?
What is up, team No Job and all the no jobbers of the internet? It's your boy No Job Greg, and I'm here at my complex, and I just want to let you guys know that for the first 50 of you that want to work with myself personally and be mentored by me personally, well, guess what? It's available right now, today. The first 50 of you guys, you know, 2.5 years ago, I started making serious money off of my cell phone through cryptocurrencies, e-commerce. It's allowed me to be here in Los Angeles for the past 1.5 years and to live this amazing lifestyle, because I decided that, you know, we're in the information age and we need the right information to allow us to, you know, live our life by design, to build the smart businesses and to make money work for us instead of us working for money. So it's really up to you. If you want access to my network, if you want to learn how to make money with your cell phone, with cryptocurrencies, e-commerce, real estate, then guess what?
Yo, honestly, I think, in my opinion, I see it more as like, you know, the recession's gonna hit. There's gonna be a lot of institutionalized money.
Just flows right in.
And it just goes
Because
right
it's an
in.
undervalued asset class, and people are gonna look for a hedge.
Yep.
You know, it's like, it makes so much sense. And you know, like with traditional markets, like the thing with cryptocurrencies is it's $100 billion marketplace right now, like 150 maybe, and traditional markets like Forex are 7 trillion.
Yeah, it doesn't add up. It's just like, it's
Yeah.
so small that it's just like.
So like recently, like there was this huge like spike up that took us out of the bear market trend, and it was $100 million purchase order of Bitcoin through 3 exchanges. So just $100 million manipulated the market 20+%. So like, if you really think about the market, it's a very, very small market right now, but it's gonna grow because it's never stopped growing. And even throughout this whole hype phase and stuff, nothing really changed, but for things that have, like the things that did change after this whole hype stage were good things for Bitcoin. It was like regulations and like more acceptance, more use case, more, you know, exposure, more interest. So it's like, it's like artificial intelligence.
What do you think of all the
reality.
bots? Like, you know, with
Bots are all over this traditional markets too.
Yeah, but in terms of like being in the crypto space, like I think there's a lot more bots in 2019 than there was when I was trading in 2017.
Bots are just, they're taking over the market in general.
Yeah.
Like just this, in the stock market, Forex market, like it's all bot trading. I mean, for the most part, you know, and I respect the traders that are behind their computer screens that are actually doing it.
Yeah.
You know, because like that's probably the best way in my opinion. But the bot guys are doing the same thing with trying, you know, they're trying to improve their algorithm all the time. And so like there's still work on both sides, you know.
Yeah.
But it's like having the manual skill to trade and make money is, in my opinion, a very, very important skill, you know.
Yeah, no, I think it's one of these foundational wealth building skills is like trading,
Compounding interest.
exactly, you know. So
There's no other way to compound interest faster than trading, in my opinion. You know,
Yeah.
other than like poker and blackjack.
yeah, you can't keep flipping the bag as fast as you can as trading. Like you probably can just go home right now and just
If I just get behind the computer screen, pull
Literally.
the charts up, you know, I'll hit the, you know, the Chinese Open or whatever, you know, like the London Open.
yeah. It doesn't matter. It's like, and the cool thing with crypto compared to Forex, it is a 24/7 marketplace. So all day long, all night long, people are constantly trading, constantly making money. Some people are losing money, but most people are making money if they know what they're doing with trading. But to like kind of like you know, revert, you know, from cryptocurrency, like, you know, going into like personal development, like what are some of your favorite books that you would share with people?
Principles by Ray Dalio is the #1 book. And it's, I think, going to turn into like the next Think and Grow Rich. And I'd say that because Ray Dalio, he owns the largest hedge fund in the world, which means he's the most trusted individual with money to people that have money, to multiply their money. So he's the #1 money manager in the world. So he's like a Warren Buffett, right?
Yeah.
And he never read a book his whole entire life until he was 65 and retired from Bridgewater Associates, which is his hedge fund, because he felt like his purpose was being lost. And the book that he wrote was Principles, and it was like a book he wrote 2 years ago. And so it's like, it's such a foundational book for personal development and financial markets. It's one of the most like interesting books I've ever read.
What is like the biggest thing biggest takeaway that you've applied for your life right now with that book?
To have an ideal meritocracy, which basically means, like, to give you an example, if you have cancer and you go to one doctor and they give you the option to cut your hand off to get rid of the cancer,
Okay.
and you just say, okay, well, let's do it, then you're not necessarily checking to see if there are better options and if that's going to be the best option. But if you go and you see yourself, you get that option, and you go to another doctor, they give you a different option. They say, well, we actually don't have to cut your hand off. We can just cut one finger off. And then you go to another doctor and say, well, we don't have to cut anything off. We can just put a needle in. Most people will sit back and say, all right, let me make the best decision. But when you create an ideal meritocracy, you go one step further and you say, okay, well, let me take all three of you and put you guys in a room together. And I just want to be an observer and hear all three of you guys argue against why you believe that this is the best way versus any other way. And when you approach problems like that with your team or the people that you work with, it takes things to the next level, because now you're really finding the best solution. Every single time you're making the best possible decision, therefore giving you the tangent to the next step or the next point in the ladder, right? And so it's like you can really exponentially grow and see more quantum leaps in your business, in your life, in your finances, in your relationships, whatever it might be, by applying that ideal meritocracy like principle to your everyday operations and the way that you run your businesses and your life, And so it's really the way that you make decisions, because he talks a lot about decisions.
Okay.
Because life's just a series of decisions. I decided to come and record this podcast. You decided to offer me the ability to record it. Like, everything is a decision that you've made and I've made, and we all make decisions every single day. I've decided to walk to the kitchen and grab this banana and eat it,
Yeah.
And so it's like, if you're able to shortcut all of these decisions and always find the best decision, you'll always get further along than anybody else. And so, the reason that's like huge for me is because like that's a trading mindset. Because like in trading, if you don't make the same mistake twice, then you're better than other traders. And so it's like, that's why he's the best money manager in the world. He lost less than 1% of his portfolio in 2008 for all the money that he was managing, while every hedge fund averaged like 70 or 80% loss during the recession, because he knew what he was doing. You know what I'm saying? So it's like there's a reason he's Ray Dalio. It's insane.
Yeah, no, that's a great little story right there. I completely understand what you just said. I don't know if they understand what you just said, but that's just like, for me, like, sheesh. It's just kind of like, I have it written over there. It's just like, you got to get, you get 1% better every single day. 100, days from now, you're gonna be twice as good as you were. But if you got 3% better, 31 days, or you get twice as good within that 30 days. So it's just like, how do you know what I mean? So it's just kind of like, I understand exactly, like, compounding interest in terms of financial business trading, and then obviously compounding interest in just being a better than what you were, from momentarily, just ago. So it's just like, whether it's a day ago, hour ago, whatever. So it's kind of like, I don't even know. We're just always leveling up, always evolving out here. But it's kind of, for me, everything that you just said was just fucking like, not even mind-blowing, but it just takes it into the next level of like, this is why you're, a one-of-one person, and this is why you're, on the forefront and leading as, someone under 25, under 23, being 21 years old. Like, I don't know any other 21-year-olds out there that have this type of mindset, and that's why you are, if you go on YouTube right now, like, what I'm saying, you're the only one out there. Like, when you look around, there's a few people, but there's not many people like you. So I really appreciate you, taking, this decision and coming out, on here and recording, because I just knew we would, be able to create some, high quality for the, the viewership out there. But, going into the next part, we'll just talk strictly for the VIP people. So real quick, for the VIP people, you guys tune in to the next part of this video. For you guys that aren't a VIP membership, I kind of feel bad for you, because we were just getting into the good stuff.
Oh, man.
And like, ultimately, where can we check you out, Naeem? Obviously, I know where you to go at Naeem on Instagram, and then for YouTube is it at Naeem?
It's youtube.com// and just the word snipers.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
with
go
an S at the end.
go into a little bit about your company.
And then my Instagram is at Naeem. It's Naeem. And if you need Instagram usernames, just hit up Jesse Artman. I'm just kidding.
But not really. You can hit him up if you guys want to. But ultimately, Naeem has one of the biggest cryptocurrency communities on YouTube right now in the world right now. And we'll be getting more in depth with that in our VIP talk. But until then, guys, thank
We
you.
have the largest financial stock, crypto, and forex trading group in the world right now, with over 25,000 members, 4,000 investors and clients, over 4,000, like 4,500 something.
Yeah, disrupting Wall Street. So it's next level shit. Ultimately, it's your decision to,
There's a lot of like signal groups out there, but like we've got multiple analysts in our group that post multiple different signals every single day, 24/7, answering questions 24/7. It's like a next level. It's like what everyone else has on steroids and on crack. It's insane, dude. I mean, nobody's competing with us right now. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, for me, just going today for the downtown Los Angeles, right next to the Staples Center, the Crypto Invest Summit. I went there last year, and that shit was a lot more popping last year than it was this year. So in terms of this cryptocurrency space, the big money's still there. It's always going to be there. We all know that. But in terms of like people that are disrupting the industry, I don't see any other people, in our age bracket that are doing it the way that you're doing it. So I'm excited for you, man.
I appreciate that.
So let's do the next.